Hey, did you see where they changed the rule? The Kenny Pickett rule, where now it's if you give any kind of indication, you're going to, like college football, change something immediately, and nothing changes in college football. What did you think of the play, and what do you think of now them revising the rule?
Well, I understand the revision for it because it's a player safety issue. And I think they're looking at it saying as soon as you begin to go down, that's where they're actually spotting the ball. So ultimately, it makes it a harder play, not only on the defender, but on the officials. Whereas they're almost basically saying you started to give yourself up, play is dead. Like we're giving you that protection as a runner. But if you're being honest with me about it, I thought it was the dopest move we saw maybe in college football season. Like if there was like a Heisman moment, it might be that for Kenny Pickett, even though he was phenomenal this year. Like that singular play that ended up in a touchdown now literally got you to change the rule. Like he's not going to end up winning it. Bryce Young will, but my man, Kenny Pickett, hashtag two gloves. Like that was one of the coolest things. And it led to a changing of a rule, much like in our show with LeVar Arrington, he was jumping over, line of scrimmages to block kicks. Like he kind of pushed forward that change of ruling for player safety as well. So I give him a lot of credit for pulling it off.
What do you think of Pickett?
I think he's the best quarterback in this year's draft class. I think when you look at the strides he's made every single year at Pitt, when you start breaking down the film, one of the biggest things you notice is his game's going to translate to the NFL level. Almost similar to the model in which, like I've compared him in the past. He reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger coming out of Miami, Ohio. He's not quite as big as Ben was, but when you go back and watch some of that tape, he can play from the pocket. He's got a strong arm. He'll take those shots downfield. He has no problem, with the 20-plus yard throws. But he also can create, and he doesn't give up on plays, and he's got a little bit of that to him, and he's got that kind of it factor. Like, I don't know what it is. I can never understand or describe it, but when you watch him play and you see him, there's like a toughness about him. He has it. So if I was a team looking for a quarterback in this year's draft, that would be at the top of my list.
Okay, could he go number one overall? If you're the Lions or the Texans, could you see Kenny Pickett going number one?
I could, yeah. If they're the ones that ultimately feel like he needs to be the guy right away. I mean, the one thing playing to him is he's played a lot of college football. And so I think if you draft him there and you make him the guy day one, he's experienced, I think, with what he's been asked to do by Pat Narduzzi and their staff, it should translate well. Now, the question really becomes, what does he have out around him? And that's depending on the team you're looking at, if it's Detroit or Houston, not that much. He had a Blitnikoff finalist and Jordan Addison on his team this year. He's had some talent at the wide receiver position on Pitt throughout. So that'll be the biggest challenge. But he's got the mobility and he's got that sort of toughness where I think he'll be fine making his way through a lot of the adversity early on. It just comes down to whether or not they surround him with enough talent out around him.